Tonight, a medical breakthrough is showing promise for millions of Americans with type 1 diabetes. It's an alternative for taking insulin without the injections. CBS's Mark Strassman has details.
Tacey Segrist is a bouncy 8th grade athlete in Oklahoma with type 1 diabetes. When she was 10, Tacey began a routine she's always hated: 7 to 10 insulin shots a day.
I started freaking out so much I made myself cry.
Did you have to try to find a private place to do it?
I would usually do it like in the bathroom or like not do it around everyone else because I was too scared of what other people would think.
Tacey showed us her new option, this insulin inhaler called Afrezza. She was part of a year-long research study by the drug maker Mankind. Her mother calls the inhaler a game changer.
You don't have to worry about an extra piece of technology on your body or on your child's body.
Dr. Casey Berman, a pediatric endocrinologist, agrees the inhaler is a breakthrough. Less painful than needles, less disruptive than needles or a pump.
It's allowing families to have choice and more options when there's so few options already in this condition.
There are more than 300,000 Americans under the age of 20 with type 1 diabetes. What this tiny inhaler gives them, many for the first time, is a low-key convenience.
Especially for athletes like Tacey, who loves to run. No more interrupting a track meet to hide somewhere and give herself a shot.
It's definitely helped me become more confident.
It's not this big scary monster anymore.
You do it, you move on.
We do it, we move on.
Tacey's not stressed about her diabetes anymore. Her inhaler lets her exhale. Mark Strassman, CBS News, Elk City, Oklahoma.
Okay, there you have it, folks. My understanding, though, is that
As part of a year-long research study by the drug maker.
I'm confused because I was thinking that don't you still have to measure your blood sugar to know your insulin levels? So yes, you might not have to take needles, but you still need to know your blood sugar in order to take it, so you can measure it. It ain't like you're just taking inhalers all day, unless they're like, well, we're doing microdosing of inhalers, and basically what we're going to do is you just take a microdose of this inhaler all day. But then how would you actually know your insulin levels, like for your sugar, you know? Maybe they got it under control. I guess they're taking one part of it, but I don't see them taking the other part of it. So in my eyes, I see like, okay, well, yes, you can inhale the insulin. It's an inhalable insulin, right? Like an aerosol, kind of like an inhaler, like an albuterol inhaler. But how does she know her levels? She still would have to pinch her fingers for her blood sugar to test it, so she'll know if her insulin is up too high. I mean, her sugar's too high. But she needs, or you know what I'm saying? Because the type 1 diabetes, as you're insulin deficient, you cannot make insulin. Your body's not making insulin. And then type 2 is like your body's not making enough. That's more of like a diet related thing. And then the other one is an autoimmune. Type 1 is like more your body's attacking itself, and you cannot produce insulin. But the other one is because, like, you know, mostly like health choice, like lifestyle choices, right? And that's more controllable. This one that you always need insulin in your body to regulate your sugar, because it could be too high or too low. Now, if it's too low, some people hit them with the sugar, you know, sugar water, sugar cubes, to get your number back at a peak, because you'll crash both ways. And if it's too high, of course, you need the insulin inhaler. But my question is, this is just the medication. Where is the testing to know that level? Which some people have, like the pod on the arm. And the pod on the arm basically tracks it on an app. And the app continuously gives you your numbers whenever you want. And it tells you when it hits between a certain range. This doesn't do that. So I'm going to fight against that that this insulin inhaler does not do that. That this insulin inhaler is literally just the insulin itself. It's not the testing mechanism that you need to know your sugar levels. You get what I'm saying? So half good, half irrelevant as hell, because I heard the lady saying, well, now you don't have to stick yourself. Well, technically speaking, you still do have to stick yourself unless you had that little pod on your shoulder that keeps continuously, unless you either do the prick of the finger, test it that way, or you do the thing on the shoulder and it'll test it continuously. But with that tool, that's the insulin anyway. It's going to automatically do it by itself. But that costs money, of course. So anybody in the chat that got type 1 diabetes, do you find this relevant to the situation? I find this half relevant. The other half is just irrelevant as hell. It's a waste of time, because I still have to prick my finger if that was the reason why you made it. Now, convenience, yes, it is convenient based on the dosage. You know what I'm saying? Some people have a continuous insulin feed at a certain time with certain structure of meals. That means you know how much sugar is in every item you're eating, so you kind of know the range. This is the only way that would help this situation, because if you're type 1 diabetic and you're using a insulin inhaler, you would literally have to almost eat the same food as every day, and knowing what type, or at least know what sugars are in the insulin, and kind of range your insulin levels while taking this every day. Unless you shoot yourself with the needle to test your blood for your blood sugar. So like I said, it's like half relevant, half not relevant for that reason alone. Good idea. But if they had a mechanism where there's something that can calculate your blood sugar continuously without it being so big like the other people's, because the people that have the thing on the shoulder or on the arm, for insulin type 1 diabetes, you can do it for type 2, I think, as well. But this is automatic. Like, as soon as your levels hit this, it shoots you with it. If they had this where you can at least calculate your blood sugar continuously without injecting insulin, and then you can take this inhaler as the other part, then okay, now it's a 2-part, you know what I'm saying, instead of a 1. Tell me if that makes sense to you, guys in the chat. I know a little bit about this. I know a little bit. But I like medical breakthroughs because I think we haven't figured out a lot. I look at the earth as like a big ass Pokemon board, you know what I'm saying? And we still looking around searching for stuff, and then we just find Pokemon and different like periodic table elements and shit like that. And then, or we get more smart where the stuff we used to use as medicine is now longer being used, and we're using a better way. So those are always interesting to me. If you ever see something like that, you know I'm going to comment on it, because I like medical breakthroughs, and I like technological breakthroughs, something more like AI. That being said, tell me what y'all think about this in the comment section. It's your boy Angelo Savage. This is a half decent idea, but just half. I only give it half credit because it doesn't do the other half. It still requires an individual to puncture themselves to get their blood sugar. That being said, as long as this motherfucker covered, G, I get it. On me, it's your boy Angelo Savage, man. Don't forget to subscribe. It's the Savage Report. Let's go.